Digimon may not have as many games as some other franchises it is often pitted against, but it definitely tries to give something to everyone. Since the franchise started with V-Pets in 1997, Digimon games naturally evolved around the V-Pet mechanics for a while. The first Digimon game, called Digimon World, was released just 2 years after that simple V-Pet. The game felt like entering a real 3D world of the V-Pet, where you hatch Digi-Eggs and raise your Digimon. This over 20 years old game, which started the Digimon World series of games, is still beloved and played by fans today. But sticking to one concept is not something Digimon does. Enter Digimon Story. Seven years after Digimon World 1 was released, and with 3 sequels in the series in the meantime, Digimon spun the gears of innovation again, starting the Digimon Story series of games. Unlike the World games, which were made for PlayStation, Digimon Story games were made for handhelds, gaming devices loved in Japan. As the world of gaming evolved, and old handheld devices gave way to new ones, the Digimon Story series evolved with the times, starting with Nintendo DS and breaking out of the handheld ecosystem into consoles like PlayStation 5 with the latest title. Digimon Story series includes Digimon World DS, Digimon World Dusk and Dawn. Wait, hang on a minute. How can Digimon Story series include games called Digimon World? Well, it will make sense if we talk about all the story games as they were released in Japan. Let's try that again. Digimon Story series includes Digimon Story, Digimon Story Sunburst and Moonlight, Digimon Story Lost Evolution, Digimon Story Super Cross Wars Blue and Red, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, and finally Digimon Story Time Stranger. Now that makes sense. Digimon Story games were released in Japan under the story title from the start, but in the West they used World instead to appeal to gamers who were familiar with that popular series. Since Lost Evolution and Cross Wars games were never released in the West, the first game to break this habit in the West was actually Cyber Sleuth. In World games, you raise a Digimon by taking care of its needs like feeding, pooping and sleeping, and then you explore the open world with the Digimon you raised. In story games, you choose a starter Digimon, but as you go through the game and battle new Digimon, you scan their data, which can later be converted into Digimon. So you are not stuck playing with your starter Digimon until they die. In fact, in story games, Digimon don't die. If you want to replace the Digimon you are currently playing with, you simply scan a Digimon you encountered and place them in your party. The racing element is not completely missing from story games though, as you have a Digifarm, where Digimon can level up, train, search for cases, or develop items useful for battles. There is also Cam and Friendship, a substitute for a tamer Digimon bond. Basically, your Digimon considers you a friend if you take them to battle. Some Digimon can't evolve unless you meet their Cam requirements. The first Digimon Story game was released in June 2006 in Japan under the title Digimon Story, and in November 2006 in the West under the title Digimon World DS as the first Digimon game for Nintendo DS. In the near future of the 21st century, the technology is rapidly evolving and spreading across the globe. There are rumors that some mysterious lifeforms have started spreading across the World Wide Web, can be born from computers and partnered with humans. The DATS organization, short for Digital Accident Tactics Squad, is trying to cover all this up. These rumors spread like wildfire among school children who are intrigued to learn what is going on. One of them, the main protagonist of the game, whose gender and name you choose at the start of the game, sneaks into the school's computer room, where the computer sucks them into the digital world. As you enter the digital world as the main protagonist, you get to a place called DigiCentral, where you are registered as a tamer and given a starter Digimon to choose: Tsunomon, Koromon or Tanemon. In the course of the game, you will encounter many Digimon who will give you quests, be given a Digifarm to raise the Digimon you convert from scan data, and the Digimon in your farms will also give you quests when you talk to them. But the main story leads you to an evil entity called Unknown D, which stands for Unknown Digimon, who will turn out to be Alphamon. He is manipulating a tamer called Kain to revive the legendary Super Ultimate Digimon Chronomon and prove that humans make Digimon weaker, not stronger. His ultimate goal is to remove all humans from the digital world, but Alphamon's plan takes a dark turn. Chronomon gets awakened by Kain's dark heart and seeks to destroy the digital world. Alphamon and Clavis Angemon try to stop him, but in vain. The main protagonist doesn't give up and turns Chronomon Destroy mode into Holy mode by showing him his pure heart. In Digimon Story games, the gameplay doesn't end after you complete the main story. After the final battle, you can come back to Chronomon Holy mode to defeat him once more and get a 100% scan of his data. But not only that, you can still explore the map to encounter and scan other Digimon, and you keep your farms, where you can raise more Digimon and complete the field guide. Unlike the World games, which mostly used 3D models, the first story games used pixelated sprites with isometric perspective and pre-rendered backgrounds, making these pre-Cyber Sleuth story games a nostalgic and cozy experience. There are 239 Digimon you can obtain, with the rest being NPCs. Since it was released in 2006, the main Digimon are centered around the anime Digimon Savers. The 3 starters evolve into Gaomon, Lalamon and Agumon 2006, and there is no regular Agumon. The mechanics of the game established with the first title would carry on to all story games, in one form or the other. In the main menu there are 6 options: Digimon, Items, Quests, Digifarm, Tamer Info and Save. Since the DS has 2 screens, the top screen shows your Digivice, with info like your current Digimon party, their levels, HP and MP, but also where you are on the world map, how much bits, the in-game currency you have, and how much food you have stored. The Digifarms produce food and the Digimon there feed themselves, so you don't have to do that manually like in World games. The only thing you need to care about when it comes to food is that they have enough of it, or their stress levels will rise. The Digimon menu is for managing your party. The top 3 Digimon are your main battle Digimon, and the lower 3 are your benched substitutes. Here you can rearrange which Digimon are the main 3 and which are benched. The top screen in this view shows the selected Digimon and their stats. These include Attack, Defense, Spirit, Speed and Aptitude. Clicking on a Digimon in this menu gives you more information about them. On the top screen you get additional stats, like your Digimon's species, generation or level, personality, battle and growth type, friendship and stress levels. On the lower screen next to main stats, you have options. Techniques are attacks. Every Digimon has special attacks, and then attacks you gain as you play. When your attack storage gets full, you are prompted to discard existing attacks to make room for new ones if you like them better, or stick with the old ones. You can't remove the special attack. Here you see more information about each attack, like does the attack target one or more enemies, its description, effect or how much damage it does to enemies, how much MP it uses, and on which level did your Digimon gain them. Traits are abilities specific to a Digimon and serve as bonus points that make that Digimon special, like being resistant to conditions inflicted by enemies, like poison or confusion. In Species Experience, you see abbreviations for 8 Digimon species in the game: Dragon, Beast, Aquatic, Bird, Insect, Machine, Dark and Holy. These are important for the Digimon's strength against that species, but also serve as a requirement for evolution. The Digivolution menu is for evolving and de-evolving your Digimon. Here you can see which Digimon routes are available for your Digimon, their stats and conditions, and perform evolution or degeneration. Equipment menu is for equipping your Digimon with items that help them in battles. Each item has a description of what it does, like raising attack or defense power, critical rate and accuracy, and so on. The Items menu shows all the items and valuables you have. You can use this menu to give your Digimon items, like HP and MP recovery. Valuables are a type of items that you gain as you progress through the story, like keys required to enter maps or Digimentals. The Quests menu gives you a list of all the quests in the game, including active, available and completed quests. The lower screen shows the list of quests, and the top screen provides more details of a selected quest. Here you can see the description of the quest, which Digimon gave it to you, requirements to take it, and how many Tamer points you will get when you complete it. The Digifarm menu is something I found confusing when I first played this game, because to me it sounded like a shortcut to the Digifarm. But this is just an insight into your farm stats, and to actually enter your farm, you have to do it through a port next to Terriermon in DigiCentral. Here you have 3 options. Farm status shows you the stats of the selected farm, Digimon list shows you which Digimon you have in which farm, and farm goods shows which equipment you have installed. These menus are all for statistical purposes only, as you can't move your Digimon or change farm goods from this menu. As I said, you have to access your Digifarm from a location on the map. The Tamer Info menu has 3 submenus: Tamer Info, Digi-Egg Gallery and Digimon Gallery. Tamer Info shows you info like Tamer rank, how many hours have you spent playing the game, how many quests and Digimon you have completed, and so on. The Digi-Egg Gallery is your collection of Digi-Eggs, produced by connecting your DS to Wi-Fi and matching your Digimon with another player's Digimon to produce a new egg. Some Digimon are only unlocked this way. The Digimon Gallery is your encyclopedia of all the Digimon in the game. I'm talking from experience when I say be careful with this menu, because you could spend hours here just looking at all the beautiful sprites and reading Digimon profiles. When you click a Digimon, you can also see how much of their data you have scanned and their regular stats, like in the Digimon menu. The save option explains itself, so let's move on to the Digifarm. Once you enter the Digifarm, you have three options: Farm, Digimon and Training. The farm menu is the same as the one you access through your Digivice and gives you info on the status of your farms. The Digimon menu can be used to talk to Digimon, who sometimes give you quests, to move Digimon from party, farms and the bank, and to convert encountered Digimon from scanned data. In the training menu, you can train your Digimon or install or remove farm goods. As you move through the endless maze of maps, you will hear a warning sound that you will soon start to hate. This means you have encountered a Digimon who is in no rush to fight you, and they politely take a second or two to introduce themselves and tell you how much of their data you have scanned so far. This is what I love about these old DS games. They make me slow down and enjoy. I can't smash the X button to skip these Digimon introductions or dialogues if I'm in a hurry. The game dictates the pace for me and never fails to remind me of times when playing a game for hours with nothing more important to do was not a luxury. A great detail I love about this and other DS story games is the live farm view on the top screen, showing your Digimon running around the farm, training or talking to you. Digimon Story Sunburst and Moonlight is a set of two games released for Nintendo DS in March 2007 in Japan and September that same year in the West under the name Digimon World Dusk and Dawn. These are two games with parallel storylines from the points of view of two teams of tamers, but with the same gameplay. Two new Digimon and their full evolution lines were made for these games, Coronamon being the mascot for Dawn and Lunamon for Dusk. A mysterious virus has caused an earthquake that damaged the access points of Sunshine and Darkmoon cities to the digital world, causing many Digimon to revert back to Digi-Eggs. In Dawn, rumors have spread that Nightcrow team from Darkmoon City is responsible for the incident. Likewise, in Dusk, the same report has started circulating about Sunshine and their Lightfang team. With both sides accusing each other, you as the player have to investigate and uncover the truth. In Dusk and Dawn, there is a name you will find referenced in later games, Kowloon, a group of mercenaries who work for money. They were hired to make the virus that attacks the city, and when you defeat them, they give you a piece of the virus, which you analyze to restore parts of the city. But the real bad guy of this game is Greymon, who first appears in the game as Mystic Energy, using its Chrono Destruction to revert Digimon back to eggs. Greymon will later undergo several evolution stages, which you have to defeat, and for which there are still no reference book entries by the way, and neither does Chronomon from the previous game, just saying. In Dusk and Dawn, in addition to Coronamon or Lunamon, you get to choose two more Digimon as your starters. The options depend on the game, but include Balance, Attack, Speed, Japanese or Pretty packs. This game includes 397 obtainable Digimon. Digimon Story Lost Evolution, released in July 2010 for Nintendo DS, is the first game in the series not released in the West. But Digimon fans, being dedicated as they are, made a fan translation in 2023. Fireworks are exploding all over the night sky as the main protagonist, who has just moved to a new town, notices something strange coming down on a hill. Accompanied by friends, they go investigate and meet an Agumon who is looking for help. They get attacked by three people and their Numemon, whom Agumon defeats with the help of the main protagonist. After the battle, the trio abandon their Numemon, but when they come back for him, they take two of your friends with them. Your mission becomes saving your friends and helping Agumon. He came to the real world to search for a human tamer. The digital world where he lives has been disrupted from the paradise it once was. There are several differences in gameplay in Lost Evolution compared to the previous story games. One is the new battle UI, with actions arranged in a cross on the center of the screen. But the biggest change is the introduction of bug plates. A group of beings known as Erasers have broken into the Digibase and damaged the evolution trees in the Yggdrasil room. You have to explore the world with your Digimon, battle enemies and obtain bug plates which hold the evolution data. These plates need to be repaired with a tool designed to be used with a Nintendo DS stylus. Once the plate has been repaired, you can set it in the tree, restoring evolution. This unfortunately means that even if your Digimon meets the requirements for evolution, it can't evolve unless you have repaired their evolution tree. Other changes are minor, and while I understand change is necessary, the long and tedious process of repairing plates and the way you can't travel directly to a place on the map where you have to do a quest were not changes for the better in my opinion. The starter Digimon for this game is Agumon, later joined by Gabumon. When the Digifarm opens, Arenamon will give you Dorumon and Falcomon, and another Digimon depending on the farm you choose. There are 314 obtainable Digimon in total. Digimon Story Super Cross Wars Blue and Red were released in March 2011 for Nintendo DS in Japan and were never released in the West. Unlike previous story games, which featured original human characters, Cross Wars Blue and Red was connected to the Cross Wars anime and served as a game version of the anime. So the main player is not a game-specific character whose gender and name you choose, but Cross Wars protagonist Taiki Kudo. In the game, a mysterious melody sends Taiki to a zone in the digital world inhabited by weapon-type Digimon. This zone is a target to many invading armies, and the Digimon who live there cannot defend it themselves. They have a special ability to turn their bodies into weapons, which can then be wielded by other Digimon to become even stronger. Taiki must lead his ever-growing Team Cross Heart through new battles and previously unknown Digicrosses. The game entered development at the same time as Lost Evolution was being made. This is the first game with Kazamasa Habu as the main producer, having previously worked as an assistant. But the project didn't meet expectations. Instead of attracting new children, it was mostly bought by old fans, who complained that it went against Digimon, both as a franchise and the story game series. As for gameplay, since in Cross Wars Digimon fuse and don't evolve, the entire mechanic of the game was changed. All new Digimon are obtained by combining 2 or more Digimon you already have. However, you have to have a recipe, components and meet requirements for a Digicross. Another way to obtain Digimon is by getting their melodies, which are sometimes dropped by enemies. Some Digimon are exclusive to their game version, meaning they can only be obtained on Blue or Red. Across the two games, there is a total of 385 Digimon. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth completely revolutionized Digimon games and remains one of the most popular Digimon games today. Released in March 2015 for PlayStation Vita, commemorating the franchise's 15th birthday, it was the first story game to break free from Nintendo's DS. The game was even ported to PlayStation 4 in 2017 and to Nintendo Switch and PC in 2019. Set in Japan of the near future, the story of the game revolves around the cyberspace called Eden, where people go to escape their everyday life and all its problems. But that's not Eden's main use, as it soon became a breeding ground for cybercrimes. The cyberspace became damaged by hackers who used special virus programs equipped with AI to commit all sorts of misdeeds. These programs can absorb data and evolve in response to their environment. People began calling these programs Digimon. Eden users start getting the Eden syndrome, a mysterious disease affecting heavy users whose mental data is actually consumed by an Ether. Ethers are digital lifeforms that started appearing in Eden, and a rumor started to spread that if you went to Eden and saw a ghost of a white boy, an Ether was guaranteed to appear. The main protagonist, whose gender and name you choose as the player, goes to Eden to investigate these rumors, but gets attacked by an Ether and his body becomes half cyber. This means he can manifest in the real world, but his real body lies in a hospital bed all the time. Ethers turn out to be a problem not just for Eden, but have been causing havoc in the digital world as well, a place where Digimon originally come from. A group of protectors of the digital world called Royal Knights come to the human world, looking to put an end to the human civilization, hoping that would finally stop the Ethers. The main protagonist works for a detective agency who deals with cybercrimes, but also tries to convince the Royal Knights to stand together with humans to stop the Ethers. Cyber Sleuth is on a whole other level compared to other story games, with a brand new look and feel. Its detailed 3D graphics and maps were a high jump from pixelated art of its predecessors. Similar to other games in the series, at the start of the game you get to choose a starter Digimon from Terriermon, Palmon and Hagurumon. Just like in previous games, you have a Digivice as your main tool. Using this Digivice, you can control your party, organizing up to 11 Digimon into 3 main battle Digimon and 8 bench Digimon, whose levels depend on how much memory you have. You get more memory as you progress through the game. Digivice also has all your items like before, a field guide of all the Digimon in the game, and quests and tamer info combined into a new menu called Player. This menu can be very useful as a guide, since it has tutorials and info on which Digimon you need for which hacking skill, and also reminds you where to go when on a quest. There are also some Digivice options specific to this game, like Digiline, a messenger where people send you messages like your family and friends, your boss Kyoko, but also Digimon in your farm. The farm is no longer an option in the Digivice, but only accessible in the Digilab. We'll get to it in a bit. The keyword feature is where you store words and phrases like clues for your detective work. Finally, there are game settings and a save option. The game's second most important control point is the Digilab, which you access by connect jumping to it using a phone booth. In the Digilab you will find Mireille and her cats, and when your Digivice doesn't tell you where to go, you can always come here and ask Mireille for clues. From the central screen in the Digilab, you can evolve and de-evolve your Digimon, convert them from scanned data, load one Digimon to another to give them XP, move them between party, farm and bank, or return Digimon to data. Digimon can evolve in evolution trees after meeting requirements. The first screen on the left is your Digifarm, which you can have up to 5. In the farms, you can feed Digimon items that increase their stats, expand the farm, install equipment useful for certain commands. These commands are Train, for Digimon to increase stats, Develop, which commands Digimon to build useful items, and Investigate, which makes the Digimon search for cases. One big change in the farm system is that you can't talk to your Digimon in the farm, they instead send you messages on the Digiline, commenting about their life on the farm, asking you personal questions, or giving you quizzes with 3 given options. The leftmost screen in the Digilab gives you an option to heal your Digimon's HP and SP for a price of the in-game currency, which is useful when your Digimon reach level 99 and can't restore those by leveling up. The rightmost screen is for buying items for the farm, or selling items developed in the farm, or obtained through other methods. Behind Mireille and the screen there are 2 portals. The one on the right lets you revisit cyberspaces you visited on cases, so you can grind to get XP or scan Digimon you encounter there. The left portal is for PvP, battling other players online. Gone are the long introductions of Digimon when you enter a battle, you just get a brief glimpse into the percentage of scanned data. In battle you have a circular control in the lower left corner of the screen, which you can use to attack with a regular attack or use special and inherited skills, give your Digimon items, change your party, but also set the battle to auto or try to escape it. If you played every Digimon story game, you can see how this battle UI evolved step by step to become what it is now. On the battle screen, the line on the right shows who is the next to attack, with your Digimon in blue, green for friends and enemies in red. This line also has a combo meter. When your Digimon are lined to attack without an enemy breaking their formation, they can do a combo attack for a stronger offense. Another great addition to the story games is the New Game Plus option on the start screen. This lets you start a new game, but keeping all the Digimon and items you collected in your first playthrough. The original Cyber Sleuth game had 249 Digimon. Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory was released in December 2017 for PlayStation Vita as a bridge between games to give fans something to play while the developers work on the next story title. The game was later ported to PlayStation 4 in 2019 and Nintendo Switch and PC in 2019 as a complete edition. The story of the Cyber Sleuth sequel is parallel to the original, but told from a different perspective. The main protagonist, whose Eden account was hacked, has been accused of cybercrimes he has no memory of committing. He joins a hacker team called Hoodie to find the hacker who stole his account and prove his innocence, in the meantime working with his teammates to solve crimes happening in Eden's cyberspace. The game has the same gameplay as the original Cyber Sleuth, with added mini-games for farm cases like domination battles. It also added close to 100 Digimon, for a total of 341. The starter Digimon are Betamon, Gotsumon and Tentomon. Digimon Story Time Stranger is Digimon's longest-awaited game. After close to a decade of development, it was finally announced on the 12th of February 2025, promising to come out later this year for PS5 and Xbox. Time Stranger will be the first game not made for a handheld device and then ported to a console, but made straight for console. It is possible that the game will be released for other platforms later on, as we saw with other Digimon games before. The game will have 11 languages for the interface and subtitles, with Japanese and English for audio. The only fact about the game we know so far is that it revolves around a group of Digimon called the Olympus 12, and the game will let players travel to the digital world, not just a cyberspace. In preparation for the game, you can check out the video I did on the Olympus 12. Everything else about the story we can only guess from the released trailer and short clip. Traveling to the digital world means meeting Digimon in their natural habitat, and as we explore and make new friends, they will give us quests, which can be completed in new environments with their own interactive elements. The devs have also promised an improved battle system compared to previous titles, as well as introducing bonds as a requirement for evolution. The player's bond with their Digimon will also affect their growth and battle strength. Devs are also promising a heavy roster of Digimon, but since the game has been in development for so long, we don't know if we will be getting any Digimon released in the last few years. The journey of this game, from its first mention in 2017 to the first trailer, has been one roller coaster ride. The main producer Habu, who worked on Digimon games for over 10 years, was replaced by another producer. The game was held under wraps during its entire production, and we never got any teasers for the game or even screenshots before the reveal. With news of several games being cancelled, fans feared the next story game would never see the light of day. If you want to learn more about everything that happened during production of this game and what caused such a long delay, you can check out the video I did on that topic. And before you know it, we have gone through 20 years of awesome games. Digimon Story series is great for casual play, when you only have short windows of time for games, as adult life dictates. Whenever you feel like playing for a little bit, your Digimon will be waiting for you, running around their farms, taking care of themselves, happy to see you again. Which Digimon Story games have you played, and which one is your favorite? My personal favorite is Cyber Sleuth, which I still play all the time, with a special place in my heart for Moonlight. What are your expectations from Time Stranger? Tell me in the comments below. If you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon or the Buy Me Coffee website, the links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, stay tuned for more Digimon videos. P.S. Make sure to follow my community page on YouTube, as I also post updates about upcoming videos there.